Hi guys, I'm Bearfoot and welcome to my channel. Now today I'm going to show you how to make your social media content creation super easy. I'm Bearfoot. Welcome to my channel where I'll show you how to make visibility effortless. Okay, first thing you've got to do, and this is like the most crucial step I think in anything that I do, tea. You need a sip of tea in your Boss Lady mug, and if you don't have a Boss Lady mug, go check out DigiBuddha on Instagram. Wicked stuff. So when it comes to content creation, for the majority of us, we have learned so much in our new career that we just want to kind of like brain dump everything into like a few posts, thinking that we're doing the right thing by giving our audience an abundance of information. But actually, all you're doing is overwhelming them. And this is probably going to turn them completely off of everything that you want to put out, and you're going to burn yourself out of content. The way I like to work things out and break things down is I use my cake analogy. Now, everybody likes cake, and if you don't, why not? So let's work on the cake theory. Now, the majority of us will put out a piece of content, whether it's a video, whether it's a blog, whether it's a podcast, it could be anything, right? And what we do is we give the audience the entire cake. So I'm talking about the method, the ingredients, the background of the ingredients, the whole shebang. But actually, what you should be thinking about is giving just those tiny pieces, maybe an individual ingredient, each and every post. So let's break it down a little bit, right? Cake. What's cake made of? We've got flour, we've got sugar, we've got butter, we've got cocoa if you want to put chocolate in it. We can have sultanas if you want to add some sultanas in it. You can put a little bit of baking soda if it's one of those ones that needs extra bake. Do you see my point? From cake, I just made 5 pieces of content, and that's exactly what you have to do. Now, almost everybody that comes to me, I get them to do exactly what I'm going to show you how to do here. And the reason for that is almost everyone struggles. So I say to them, right, okay, talk to me about your given subject. And all I do is exactly this. Now, no expense spared here on the props, people, and this is kind of how I roll, but da-da! So, we're talking about cake, okay? Now, most people would actually write about cake. The whole thing, one post, job done, right? But actually, you're going to burn yourself completely out, probably overwhelm your audience, and you're just not using your content abilities to their max, and this is what you need to do. So rather than talking about cake, actually, what we would do is we would break it down into the different sections, and I would talk about each individual section on its own, okay? It's going to expand your content from just talking about cake to we're talking about the flour in the cake, we're talking about the sugar in cake, and let's face it, that is a huge subject right on its own. We're talking about the butter, we're talking about extra filling, we're talking about the method, the process and how you actually make the cake, and maybe some presentation. The list really is endless, but all I get my clients to do is this. So you start with your subject, so whether that's social media, whether that's dog grooming, whether that's photography, it really doesn't matter. This process works exactly the same for every single person that I've worked with, and honestly I work with a massive range of people, and almost everybody comes back and says, Sam, that is so simple. Yeah, it's supposed to be simple, right? Okay, so those who want to take it up another notch, now that you've worked out your pie chart, you've broken everything down, you've broken it into the 6 different categories, or however many it is that actually you want to do. Now, each of those categories, you're going to need to learn how to repurpose, because what you don't want to be doing is creating a piece of unique content for each platform that you use, right? So I'm going to use my example because it's easy and I can tell you, but most of you out there and most of you watching and listening are not going to have just one platform, okay? So you're not going to have one area where you have an audience, where you have traffic that you need to communicate with on a regular. So for me, I have, of course, YouTube, hi, Instagram, yeah, of course, a newsletter, I have Facebook, I have a Twitter feed. Let's just stick with those 5 right now, okay? So I have 5 areas that I have an audience that I have to communicate with. Now, I'm not each and every week going to come up with a piece of content for each of those platforms. I'm going to use the same piece of content just in slightly different ways. So most of my content now starts right here with YouTube. It then gets translated into the various different areas. So I would then talk to my newsletter about what I have going on YouTube that particular week, and that makes for content for my newsletter. I then use it for content with my Instagram, Twitter and Facebook feed too. And for each of those, that will look slightly different, whether that is a small clip of video, whether that's just a flat image, whether that's a little piece of text that I've maybe transcribed from what I'm talking about here. It means that each and every piece of what I've put in this video is broken down into many different pieces that I can use completely across all my social media. And that, my dears, is how you repurpose a ton of content. Okay, so let me just recap this. Step number 1, most important step of all, yes, I'm very British, you gotta have a good cup of tea. Step number 2, that's about writing the single piece of content that you actually want to talk about and then branching it off onto the relevant different pieces of what you want to talk about into individual subjects and then talk about that. Step number 3 is about repurposing. You've got to make sure that you are spreading that content far and wide for everybody to see and use it just very differently from the platforms that you're going to be putting it on. Whether I say it's video, whether it's text, whether it's a newsletter, whether it's a transcription, whatever it is, use your content to the max, because I don't want you to burn out. I want you to have an abundance of content that you feel really comfortable and really confident with putting out there without the stress of sitting there on a Monday morning going, what the hell am I going to write about this week? Honestly, it's just not comfortable. It's not a comfortable look. Now, for an extra added bonus, I've just launched something brand new for all my business buddies out there. It is Launch Your Business on Instagram Like a Pro. It's a complete little guide that I've put together just for you guys that are really struggling to make a dent on Instagram. It consists of 3 parts. The first part is I'm going to give you a walkthrough on Instagram because I know that there are a load of you that look at the app and go, what the... Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to help you with that. The second bit is I'm going to show you how to make your images in under a minute. Yep, totally possible. And I know this is a huge stumbling block for you guys. You feel like you just can't make excellent images over on Instagram that are going to make your business and your brand stand out. I've got you covered. And the third piece is my 5-point launch plan. These are the 5 points that most people get wrong over on Instagram. And it just kind of, it makes you lose your confidence. It makes you not want to take that brand, that business, that thing that you've put your heart and soul into over on Instagram because you feel like you're going to look like a bit of a ninny. So I've got you totally covered. It's completely free. There's a link below. Go grab it. Seriously, this is going to help you to make a serious stamp over on Instagram. Thanks for watching my video, guys. I really, really do appreciate. Make sure that you like and give me a comment. Let me know how you feel about content, because I know that some of you are really excellent at it, but some of you are just like struggle week in, week out. Tell me what your struggle is. Let me know and I'll help you out if I can. Don't forget to subscribe and click that little bell thing that's new, because you know, if you don't, you're not going to get to hear about everything that I put out. I'm here each and every week on a Wednesday, and I'll see you next week. To the one post, and actually to the reader, that is just like, it's just not good. It's like having too much tea. No, that's not right. Damn. That will be repurposed into a newsletter because I'll be driving traffic to my Instagram. I'm Instagram obsessed. I'm Instagram obsessed.